See if it pops up. It sure does. There it is, 1997, rated R. Rated R 90s is kind of a weird category because you had all those like raunchy teen comedies during that time period too that were making a comeback. All right, so we select the title. Now, whether you're watching this live or recorded, I'm going to count you in. If the movie starts when I get to one, then we should be in the same place. So we'll kick that off. All right, so we're looking at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So the Columbia torch is lit up on my screen if we're watching about the same time. All sorts of warnings on this: sexual content, foul language, alcohol use, smoking, violence. What else do you want in a movie? $1997 doesn't feel that long ago to me. All right, we're going into a rainforest. I remember this logo, but I don't remember what it's for. Is it Mandalay? I think that's the one. Yeah, the tiger. Yeah, Mandalay. I was right. And Mandalay Entertainment. I don't keep track of movie studios all that much, though. All right, what are you presenting for us, Mandalay Entertainment? Morowitz. I can't remember if he was involved with Scream or not. Maybe it was the writer of this movie involved in Scream. When Scream came out, that meta thing where you were conscious of horror movies in the horror movie was a big thing, and this was kind of spawned from that. Jennifer Love Hewitt. I forgot about that. All right, we have the sun over the ocean, so if it's East Coast, the sun's going down. If it's West Coast, it's coming up. I guess that'll give us Ryan Phillippe. Freddie Prinze Jr. was in this. All right, I remember that being a big deal. These were the hot young actors at the time. Johnny Galecki. I want to say that he's played in Big Bang Theory, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Anne Heche is in this. I think of her. She's a little bit older than me, and all these other actors are a little bit younger. That's funny. Oh, Summer Breeze. This sounds like what group did this? Shoot, they did it for this movie, and I remember it being popular for like 10 seconds back then. I want to say like O negative, typo negative. I don't know my groups well enough to say that with any confidence. Alright, so we're looking at a curvy coastal road here. Always a bad scene in a horror movie. I don't mean bad as in badly written. I mean something bad's going to happen if you're on a curvy road in a horror movie. Those are pretty steep cliffs. Whether this is set in California or not, I think it was filmed there. Oh, there he is. So I'm going to say that would be an interesting walkway. Looks like there's blood on that rock. I wonder if that's what it's supposed to be, or if they I don't recognize this actor. He's not one of the ones that was around forever. Something bad's about to happen to him, though. You don't want to be drunk or heartbroken on a cliff over rocks and crashing surf. Fourth of July, maybe. Fishing boats and stuff. All right, looks like the sun was setting, or that's what's implied for the night of the 4th. So that would make this West Coast. Now it seems like a southern country thing, so maybe they messed up on which way the sun was setting. Oh, is that Sarah Michelle Gellar? Oh, that's funny. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's Ryan Phillippe, Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer Love Hewitt. The spirit of Mother Teresa. And slave vampires. Apparently, Ryan Phillippe is her boyfriend in this. Can't remember what all he was into. Every one of those four actors did a bunch of stuff at this time. Like anything they were in was bound to be good. Very excited, very excited. All right, all right. We are back out in this fishing village. See the music and some of the accents imply this is the South, but like those kind of fishing boats, I think are further north. All right, so maybe they're sisters, but they don't get along very well. Yep, that's him, Johnny. So he's the jilted nerd. All right, they're going to get ready to fight. I don't like Johnny's chances with that. I guess he's Max in this movie. I always think of him as Leonard Hofstadter. Dawson Beach. What if that's a reference to Dawson's Creek, the big television show at the time? All right. Guy that might have reason to get back at him. There's that curvy road. The hook hand story. Campfire stories. They're kind of showing that these campfire stories are told different. Yeah, that's the way I heard it too. The hook in the door. I think Urban Legend was another series that went on around here. Dancing with a Sparkler. Getting frisky on the beach there. Before you head off to rehab. All right, so they're getting ready to go off to school and leave each other behind and leave the town behind. All right, they're going to get frisky on the beach there. Oh, what song is this? What is that called? I want to say the group is Ugly Betty, but I think that's a TV show. Good Lord. Alright, so this may be the fateful choice. Open container. Some tension. Ooh, loud music. Sticking his head out of the... Ooh. That should have knocked his head off with him standing up out of the sunroof like that. How can he tell it's not his blood? Uh-oh. All right. It'd be behind you if you hit somebody. See, that doesn't make any sense. If they hit him, he rolled up over the roof. The body should be behind them because it went up over the roof and they kept going. Of course, the sun, I think, sets on the wrong side of the world here. Hmm. Hmm. The dialogue here is actually pretty good. I mean, you give these movies a lot of crap for being teen nonsense at the time, but like this isn't badly written. In this scenario, she'd be the one with the. All right, there's Max. So now he's in on. See, that should be suspicious as hell. All right, so they're... Where are they going? Down to the water? Hey, that's a North Carolina license plate. If this is North Carolina, then in this world the world turns the other direction because they had the sun setting over the ocean. Must have been a goof in the movie. All right, so they're going to try and dump the body. This is a big discussion in crime fiction and horror movies, is figuring out like how do you get away with a crime? Not that any of those writers are actually trying to get away with crimes, but trying to create stories where it seems realistic. Of course, not having a body helps, but then do you get away with things dumping them in the water? Do you dispose of the evidence? How do you... Oh my god. He's back awake. He's got my crown. Oh god. Oh, that's funny. He jumped in to get the crown. It's going to be another grab here. Oh, Lord. Very reminiscent of Jason underneath the water. And some of the Friday the 13th series. Oh, he was still alive. Freddie Prinze Jr. isn't a very good boyfriend. I don't think their relationships and friendships are going to do well after this. Yeah, if the guy was alive when they dumped him off the pier, it doesn't look very good for him there. Yeah, yeah. Scary Movie did the franchises there did kind of overlap a bit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hit and run, dumped off the pier, about caught up. The guy was still alive when they put him in the water, though. All right, so this is her This is her new college friend. Yeah. Yeah. Teenagers aren't great at disposing bodies, as a general rule, I imagine. They're not as good at lying and keeping secrets as people give them credit for either. All right, so we're back to summer. So it's they're at the next summer. So everything happened last summer. Yeah. Yeah. the, the the double tap rules from Zombieland. No, in these movies, people can always come back from the dead, and everybody has enemies, so they'll come back too. All right, so she's back in the magic North Carolina town where the sun sets over the ocean in the east. All right, so she's weird about being home. Who's that actress? Somebody Hobart is the mom. I can't remember. I'm sad because I killed a guy last summer. Killed him twice. Very antique house. Paint on the wall reminiscent of dried blood. I wonder if they did that on purpose. I mean, if you were on drugs in the 90s, like, there were different rules back then. Oh, her grades have slipped. Well, I hit this guy with a car and I had to drag him down to the water and he was still alive, and it's kind of been hanging on me a little bit. Kind of distracted in classes. A letter with no stamp. Title shot. I know what you did last summer. It's a very specific font. Nothing. It's from my drug dealer. Jennifer Love Hewitt should lean into the drug accusation more. It's better than the truth. Yeah. I think I have that font on my computer. It's not called the "I know what you did last summer" font though. Like, wait a minute, I recognize this handwriting. This is Johnny that I jilted at the beach. No, Johnny's is the actor's name. Max was the character's name. Johnny from Big Bang Theory and Roseanne. He drove by after they hit the body and were trying to hide it. Don't trust the wind. All right. So she had to go to summer school. Are we back to 4th of July again, I guess? Oh, 90s music. Can't remember any of these groups' names. None of them are the big ones, of course. I used to buy and listen to these soundtracks back in the 90s. I was just out of college about the time these movies were coming out. All right, so that's the older sister of one of the girls that was in the car. Oh, snap. She didn't amount to anything. You run over one guy and all your plans are derailed. Don't worry, Michelle Gellar. You'll get to Foggy's the Vampire Slayer shortly after this movie. Oh my god, I love that font. Well, the guy was still alive, and Leonard Hofstadter drove by. All right, so Barry is Ryan Phillippe. Trying to remember the other movies he was in back then. Change schools, change names, accomplished to being hunted by zombies. All right. Listen, when you're discussing murder, you should really close the door to the living room of your mansion. Hmm. He drowned so badly it looked like he got hit by a car underwater. Because that makes the movie better. It is the Ghostbusters. Yeah, he was on the road. This North Carolina town is a lot like the Northeast. I wouldn't go anywhere with Ryan Phillippe. He's a little volatile. There you go. Oh snap! Don't go anywhere with Ryan Phillippe. Oh, that's no way to handle that. Leaning on ice like that would kill your elbow. You don't even know it was him. Hey, been hanging out on a boat for a while. I'm probably going to get fired. I took really too long of a lunch. Freddie Prinze Jr. looks so sad. He has a lot of gel in his hair for a guy that's working with fish out on the docks. I mean, even if he wears that in his spare time, you think he would like not bother with it in the morning. I think any girl 20 or under in the 1990s had to wear overalls. That's the way I remember it anyway. They got lobster? What part of the country is this in? It said North Carolina, but not much lobster now. That's how his father got by. He was, well, I guess no offense to fishermen, but if you're taking care of your hair and stuff, you would stand out in that crowd. Dude smelled like fish. You would need some good gel to cover that up. To compensate somehow. Oh, smack! Oh, right up under the chin. That lobster's ruined. All right, so it wasn't Max. That narrows it down to Jennifer Love Hewitt sending it to herself. Stay in school. Oh, he's ready. He's ready for MMA. I think this was before that was a big cultural touchstone. Mixed martial arts. They set up good lighting on those lockers. All right. Ryan Phillippe got his shirt off and took a shower, so that brought in a lot of the 90s viewers. Looks like that gym was built in the same warehouse as the fish factory. Oh, what's this? Yeah, pictures of the car down by the dock. Look at those dog tags. I wonder what war Ryan Phillippe was in. I'd at least put on shoes before I went to fight a evil serial killer. It's a boxing gym in the back of the fishing docks. Now, is that the same car? Did he get it fixed? He is, in fact. That's a good line. All right. Yeah, okay. Go sideways, man. Run sideways. Not like that. Boy, gym memberships are really going to go up in price to cover that. See, nobody that gets hit by that car ends up dying. I don't know, man. You can probably just get up. It's taller than Max. Yeah, he needed a more advanced training partner to get past dodging cars. So did he survive? Could have just go to prison the rest of his life. Hey man, you own a raincoat. The pact was to never tell about it. You guys or talk about it. You guys have been talking about it the whole movie. He's like, listen, man, I'm good at kicking. All right, so David Egan was the guy that was up on the cliff at the beginning of the movie, looking sad. Geez, Ray, that seems like the smallest of your problems right now. Just date within the fishing community. That's a bulky laptop. Whew. Look, look at that internet. Wow, those browser windows. Dawson's Beach. Jennifer Love Hewitt, close some of your tabs. Good grief. Those, she's got the slashes on the wrong side of the HTTP. Let's, I know we're in a hurry, but let's upgrade Windows before we take this road trip. Movies did not care. Again, the fact that they got the web address wrong isn't quite as bad as they had the sun setting on the wrong side of the world. Hacking in DOS code. That's funny. The reality is, though, people really don't think about like how different the late '90s were. Like, I still feel like it was yesterday, but the internet wasn't even really that big when I was in college in '96. I really only started using it when I was working right after that. I mean, of course, it was around and we had it at the school, but I mean, it wasn't ubiquitous like we have today. It really was more novelty than actual usefulness. That's a lot of firewood. Good for them. They are, considering it's July, they are really prepared. Hey, that's Anne Heche. That is a weird mirror. I do know a lot of houses near me that have that kind of trash all around their yard, so that's that's accurate. And Heche plays really weird characters. Oh my goodness. She has a slicker too. I don't I don't think that should be their number one identifying characteristic of the killer. They really need to get more information. The fact that he owns a raincoat is not going to narrow it down. All right, this is the absolute truth. I've had like an old Honda Civic from the 2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere around in there. Thing was old as crap. I didn't take care of it, and I stopped driving at a certain point because of health stuff. But it just kind of sat in the yard. It took us forever to get the title back. And while I was still driving it, I still had it like the window was duct taped for a while before we got it fixed and stuff. There were people taking scrap away from one of the neighbors' yards, and they came over to ask if I wanted to scrap the car. But at the time, I was still driving it, so my car looked so shitty that scrapyard people asked if they wanted me to take it apart. Looking back, I kind of wish I'd let them do it because it was a pain to get the car title on something that old when I wanted to sell it for scrap later. So I guess my yard's the one that people mistake for it. It's not just a yard sale, but a scrap sale. Oh my goodness. I'll give the movie a point for that for accuracy. Was it Ryan Phillippe or was it Freddie Prinze Jr.? Billy Blue. That doesn't sound real. Sounds like a stage name. Romance writer's pen name. I'm going to start writing books under the name Billy Blue. I don't know. You guys are pretty destructive. Oh my god. Anne Heche scares me in real life. Meth head washing your windows energy. I think she dresses like that in real life, though. She just wore her wardrobe to the set. Boy, that is some serious justification there. Good line. Well, we were driving down this road at night, and we hit this guy, and then we hit his body, but he wasn't dead yet. Hasn't occurred to them that Billy Blue is a made-up name, like they made up names when they went to visit David's crazy sister. Jeez, what's wrong with Dad? I think Dad has a drug problem. You should always talk to your kids. One of my sons is at that age where he like starts telling stories about video games and then just goes on and on and on forever. But I let him just talk because I keep reminding myself there's going to come a phase where he doesn't want to talk to me at all. So anytime he wants to talk to me, I encourage it, even if it's a mind-numbing topic like something he's invented on Minecraft or whatever. Because you never know when a guy with a hook is coming in the house. Billy, pull your head off, sucker. Oh god. Is Diet Coke a sponsor? You're on your own, Sarah Michelle Gellar, because your dad didn't going to hear anything. ice skates for all that ice skating in North Carolina. He's not a killer. He's a pervert. He's just going to watch her change clothes. Zipper is unzipping. Yeah, that sound effect wasn't specific. Tradition is binding in this part of North Carolina. Should have got your sister to leave the door open. Not that anybody's going to listen. All that crap she's dumping on the floor from her bed is going to trip him up. It's a good strategy. The teddy bear is hook proof. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Man, this killer is either really patient or really unfocused. He fell asleep on her linens in the closet. These are prevent. He cut your hair? Like, never mind that no one's noticed that Max has gotten hooked to death in the ice room. He cut your hair. This is too far. Now it's time to fight back. Go hold his sister hostage. Girl, with your guys' history, you need to be keeping your eyes on the road. There's going to be a hook in the door like the old campfire story they were telling. We have old live oaks like that in our town. I live in South Carolina. Guy running in his soup kitchen gets hooked in the jaw. Girl gets her hair cut off. These feel like equivalents. If he died in the ice room, he's probably still pretty preserved. They could probably go in there and find him. Oh, there's Max. All right. Well, that's going to be hard to explain to the police. She got crabs from Max. All right, don't look around. See if anybody's looking. I mean, the guy's a jerk, but it is a legitimate question. You're in the middle of a neighborhood, people are driving by, guy's hauling a dead body and crabs out of a trunk. Although 100%, if one of my neighbors was hauling crabs out of his car, I might stare for a little bit, but then I'd just go back inside. That is not weird in this part of the country. Gets out of the murder game, he could monopolize the crime scene cleaning industry. See, I wouldn't look out my window for that either. There's also like a hunting preserve real close to where I live across the river, so like I don't even respond to gunshots anymore. 4 seconds flat midday, he cleaned out the whole place. Team can't pull that off. Don't mix and mention Max. You you cleaned out the body and the crabs, got back home, cleaned up before we got here. Just admit it, Freddie Prince Jr. He did mention her haircut. Now she's having to wear a silly beret in the parade. To be honest, it's kind of a huge compliment. They accuse him of being this competent. Look, I didn't make it to college, all right, but one thing I can do is move crabs. That's funny. Oh no, it took you this long. Yeah, don't go back to her house. She's not real excited to see you. Right? Chance to what? Get hooked? Who's the evil mastermind that keeps stealthily all over town, evading police? Midday. Let's be a job laborer. Uh, Middle class logic. Yeah, that's a good point. Do what's smart. Listen, Jennifer Love Hewitt, we are never going to match his level of competence, and I vote leave town. Doesn't help the plot, but this is a gardener. They should be looking at the people building those floats. That's the kind of efficiency you're looking for. Nobody's asking why Ryan Phillippe's sulking on the front of her float. Her hair looks fine. I think he's a barber. That makes sense. He did that cool razor blade thing with her hair that they do at the fancy places. Cat bites that look worse than that guy's car injuries. He's been pretty lucky. I think it helps that he's been drunk all the time. Knocked down two guys with slickers. Yeah, I don't think the raincoat's a good enough identifier. No apology to the old man. Although it is pretty suspicious to be wearing a rain slicker like that on a hot day in July in North Carolina. It's probably 90 degrees out there and humid. Watch out, girl. That's murdering music you hear there. That's true. The guy's 90. It looked like he probably would be cold. Yeah, that is not how you prepare a turkey. Don't Murder Me by the Grateful Dead. That song that was playing was probably really popular at the time because of MTV Unplugged with Nirvana, like a year or so earlier. Yeah, for Levine in here somewhere. That would be good. Please, Anne Heche. Why? Why would she forget? That's a good question. Papa Roach. Listen, Anne Heche, I love that Lead Belly tune too. That's good stuff. Seriously, this whole town needs to be suspicious of these people wearing rain slickers in the sunlight at a parade in July. Oh, there he is. When you saw his face, he's an old white man. She's up in the woods. Why is she cutting fish? Oh, from the lake there. Now see that river back there looks exactly like the backwaters near where I live. There would be a ton of guns around there. Hold on, let me go in my suicide note shack here. Oh, yeah. I she probably should have asked if she worked in insurance before she confessed to the insurance fraud. You guys hit a different guy. Yeah, it didn't look like the same guy. Listen, in this town, people wear rain slickers in the heat, carry around ice picks just in case you need to move some ice around. It's just how we do things. Oh, Shivers was the name of the store, too. Bet he's going to get killed up there. Whew, that music. She has to sit on the stage the whole time? Was it like that last year? Her talent's karaoke. Oh, oof. Why are they holding her like that? Who's that guy? Stuart Greer? That's not right. I've seen the sheriff in something else though. He's not going to be there. Folks are kind of dumb. Of course not. There weren't even any crabs to clean up this time, just one body. Barry, your boyfriend? We never heard of him. Everybody take your seats. You know how former beauty queens are. What you could do, pointing and yelling and screaming. Hold her back blankly. I don't know. I don't trust this deputy that came out of nowhere. That's not how that works. You'd make a new one every year. Get out of here with that. Even I know that. Come on, 1990s internet. You don't know that. He could have used the hook. All right. We're the only ones driving through town. I guess everybody else is at the pageant. We only have Main Street and the alley. These are our only options. I don't think that's how it works. Really should call that into the radio, man. Officer leaving his vehicle. Never tries first gun. Well, that's not what you want. All right. Running those heels. He really was a Mayberry reject. They still have the slashes on the wrong side of HTTP. 16-year-old girl can kick out your police cruiser. You're doing it wrong. Uh, Boy, if you're counting on your sister to help you, that's not. Do you want to build a snowman? Do you need keys to open the door from the inside? I don't know if the police are going to help, man. That's who just got killed. Hmm. Not going well for you. Well, it's not going well for everybody around you. I guess it's going okay for you. This is where she discovers she's a vampire slayer. Well, that character's not to be missed. One of your priorities should be switching to. He set her up as one of the mannequins, I bet. Or he's one of the mannequins. Obviously, he's wherever the music was. And now he's just killing random people. This is this is for our fisherman attire for weddings. Very popular in this town. Some guys don't want to take off their slickers ever. So we have a tuxedo version. This is a moment where you wish you didn't have deadbolts that locked on both sides. I cannot possibly imagine what use that platform would be in real life. What got moderated? I don't know. I didn't get a message about it. All right. Ugh, ouch. Starting to think Sarah Michelle Gellar took the stuff out of the car. She's the only one that's showing any efficiency here. the, the fishermen are all, maybe they're all training to be Batman. They all have aspirations. Good grief! What time did you get there? It's like midnight. All right. Aquaman. There you go. Aquaman's more on point. How long is this parade? She just kind of got off the float and it kept going. Why? Why are you stopping? Did she see him or she saw him? Oh, you saw that Geller was going to be the survivor girl. She was Buffy after all, that is true. Yeah, I remember them mentioning a Susie, but Billy Blue. But again, but Missy wasn't even involved with it. Him going to Missy wouldn't be a big thing because that's not who they thought it was. Oh gosh. All right, go with the complete stranger. That makes a lot of sense. Wait, he owns a slicker just like everyone else in that town. Should have stuck with Freddie Prinze Jr. Oh, he's a big fan. Why is it taking you so long to piece this together? I guess he feels safe because he's on a boat and there's nowhere for her to go, but letting her run around like that probably ain't a good idea. Jump and swim. I know he's getting sloppy. A guy that used to clean out trunks that fast. North Carolina, and the only gun she can find is a flare gun. And this movie is set in a world where this Earth turns the other way and there's no guns in North Carolina. Come on, Freddie Prinze Jr. 90s horror movie logic. Worse than 80s horror movie logic. I feel like this is not going to go well for him. Well, Jennifer, you can get out there and help him. It's kind of a big engine room for that ship. She's just blocking herself in? I'm putting the nets down. Oh. Getting into a hook fight with the hook man. Yeah, the women in this movie really just serve to distract the main men that are going on. All right. Can you swim back? Maybe you can swim fast enough to. I think it's happened more than twice. Oh, did he hook a net? Oh, that makes sense. They did put the nets down. All right. I'll give him that one. That seems like exactly what she's doing. Where. The geography of the inside of this boat makes no sense to me. All right, where is she? All right. Director's like, we need a plot point where it makes sense for her to take off her shirt. All right, so that's the ice room. One of the hook man's favorite places. Yeah, your shirt on the outside won't. Right, what is your plan? I mean, I don't want to imply your plan doesn't make sense, but Well, he moved fast. Of course he did. He's the best at cleaning up crime scenes. He gave up on her and was looking for Freddy to show back up. Maybe he's going around the ice room from the other side. Oof. All right. It's very important you just assume he's dead this time like you did last time when you ran him over. Sorry I doubted you, but you own a raincoat. That's actually really, really solid advice. This is one of those times you definitely should listen to your elders. Now he has a perfect place for his hook. He's dead. Don't worry about it. Fell in the water. It's over. All right, Fisherman Freddy, let's turn this thing around. Now you're still going to get in trouble for lying to the police. Of course, the guy was alive until you dumped him back in the water. He's obviously very dead. Oh, we just hit a guy and dumped him in the water afterward. We didn't kill anyone. I felt guilty for nothing. You smell like fish and gel. I don't know. Does it matter? Just find all the people in the ice. Just treat him like a serial killer. Out there. Hair gel and fisherman murder. What? I don't trust the logic of the cops in this town. They're also not all that upset about one of their own guys being killed. All right. It's killer fisherman font. I'll never do this. His spacing is impeccable, even in shower steam. That's the locket. There you go. Not nearly the worst horror movie I've seen this month. I saw House on Haunted Hill from 1958 yesterday, and that was rough. I know the guy is really missing out on some real money making opportunities that could overcome all his past trauma. My wife said later that she was the one that was one of the movies that she and her friends watched to make fun of movies when they were younger. I saw Lords of Salem too at first of the month by Rob Zombie. There was a lot of plot holes in that one too. I think a lot of visuals over story. Tomorrow I'm doing Survival of the Dead by George A. Romero, one of the later movies, but it's available on Prime. Day after that, we'll look at Jennifer's Body. Well, the movie, not, I mean, don't want anybody to think we're talking about a Jennifer. But yeah, tomorrow will be Survival of the Dead. I don't think they did a post-credits thing in here, but I'm going to let it run out anyway. Last minute or so. I know they did two more. They did one the next year, and I don't even know if the same cast was in it. Um, and then they did another one in like 2006 or something crazy like that, years later. Very 90s feeling soundtrack here. Yeah, it kind of goes from the stuff on the door. I still know what you did last summer, and then like I'll always know or something like that. I don't remember. The third one was like literally like 2006 or something. So we're talking like 8 years later. They had a bunch of groups remaking older songs for the soundtrack. That was a very 90s thing too. Based on a novel. I'm pretty sure the novel was better. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I wonder if how the author feels about the rendition of her story on here. I'm sure she feels fine if she's been cashing the checks. Yeah, so I think that's it. All right, I'm not sad. I watched that one. That was fine. It was entertaining, even if it was just making fun of it. But I enjoyed that very much. Appreciate you being on, man. That was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed that. Again, tomorrow I'll be on with Survival of the Dead. This film is a masterpiece of American cinema. Managed to improve on my vision in every tangible way. Bravo, bravo. There you go. That's really how you should talk if anybody makes a movie out of it. And I know this one made money, so hopefully the author actually got some money. That would be nice. All right, thanks again for being here, and we'll jump on again next time.